what's happening? Welcome back to the GM. I'm your guy, Boulanger. And up next, man, we want to complete our quarterback competition of the 2017 to 2020 quarterback classes in order to give Lamar Jackson a proper contract assessment. Now that the Super Bowl is over, we can finish our quarterback rankings and then assess Lamar's contract. So with no further ado, let's jump into this. Let me share my screen with you guys and we'll get this thing going. All right. And let me put this thing on share screen. There we go. There we go. So what is Lamar Jackson worth? All right, let's go. So here's a final quarterback ranking. I left it the exact same. Patrick Mahomes, #1, especially after winning his second Super Bowl MVP, and his second regular season MVP. So there's no question. I still have Lamar Jackson slotted at #2 simply because what he holds over Joe Burrow, Jalen Hurts, and Josh Allen is he does have an MVP, which means you were the best at it for that whole entire year. I understand that Joe Burrow and Jalen Hurts have Super Bowl appearances, but they do not have the hard work to show for it. And so I'm not affording extra credit because you got to the big game. If you don't complete it, then it's just like you you never really got there. You know what I'm saying? That may be a bad assessment, but that's how I take it. You know what I'm saying? If Lamar Jackson had got there, but he didn't win it, I'm not going to run around and say, well, he got to a Super Bowl because you still don't have no hardware to show for it. So that's why I have Lamar Jackson slotted in at #2. And besides that, he's done it for a little longer than the other two, Joe Burrow and also Jalen Hurts. Okay. Let's revisit the contracts. So this is the highest per year salary. You know, Aaron Rodgers, Russell Wilson, Kyler Murray, Deshaun Watson, Patrick Mahomes comes in at #5, and then you have Josh Allen. Okay, and then you go right here, you have total contracts. Of course, you got Patrick Mahomes, Josh Allen, Russell Wilson leading that pack. Okay, and then right here, what I have right here is the contract where Lamar Jackson would slot in. I got him slotted in at #2, and so he would have to fall in between uh, um, Patrick Mahomes' contract, which is undervalued at this point, and then Deshaun Watson's contract at 230. But you know he certainly has to have more money guaranteed than Kyler Murray. So let's see how we do this. Okay, so the first contract I have for Lamar Jackson is a short-term contract, which benefits both Lamar and the Baltimore Ravens. It gives both of them an out at the end of 3 years. I got 3 years, 153 million, fully guaranteed, which is I know a big deal for Lamar Jackson. $70 million signing bonus due at signing, which means he collects that money at signing, which then that assesses him a $51 million annual salary, and he will have a roughly a $26 million, $26.6 million cap hit. The reason why I went with this contract is because it does give Lamar Jackson the honor of being the highest paid quarterback. Even if temporary, he will be the highest paid quarterback annual salary in the NFL, coming in at $1 million above Aaron Rodgers, $50 million. So this is a short-term deal. I think that is acceptable. You give him the same $70 million due at signing. That means you will owe him $80 million guaranteed, split up over 3 years, and it comes in at about $26.6 million. I think this is a good contract for both Lamar and the Baltimore Ravens. If they both are uncertain about one another, but Baltimore still wants to keep him in-house, I think this deal could possibly get it done. This next deal, I have it highlighted in yellow because this is probably my favorite deal of all the deals I'm going to present. And it's a medium deal, if you will. I got it at 4 years, 204. So that still comes in at the same $51 million annual salary, 204 fully guaranteed, which is no different than going with a big deal and giving 204 guaranteed, which I've heard some numbers thrown around like that recently. $85 million due at signing means he collects that at signing. That leaves a balance of roughly 130 million, something like that's the estimation. and it comes in uh, with an under $40 million cap hit, which is still cheaper than the franchise tag that will be placed on him this year. This is my favorite deal because it's a little longer than 3, of course, but it's not the 5-year deal, which still gives them an out before Lamar Jackson turns 30 years of age. Uh, it gives him the honor again, not the guaranteed money that Deshaun Watson has, but it does make him the highest paid quarterback per annual salary. I like this deal a lot. It's probably my favorite of all the deals. Okay. And then they can still negotiate in that fifth, and excuse me, at the end of that 4th year if they would like to. And then a final deal is a long-term deal. I got it at 5 years, 255 million. Here we still have the $51 million annual salary. I got him $100 million due at signing, which means he collects that money at signing, which means they will owe about $155 million. You pay that out over the last 4 years because you would give him a really low first year salary, probably $10 million, something like that. And that breaks down to about $38.3 million. I like this deal if they want to hang out with one another long term, but this deal puts a whole lot of guaranteed money out on the table. Um, and so I have that guaranteed money coming in at $235 million. That may be more than what the Baltimore Ravens want to pay. And so that's why I had this middle deal being the best deal available for Lamar Jackson at for again 4 years, 204 million fully guaranteed. Sorry about that. $204 million fully guaranteed, 85 million due at signing. And then that breaks down to again still under $40 million per annual salary. So I think this is the best deal. And so that would definitely slot him in that number 2 slot. It wouldn't give him the Deshaun Watson money, but Deshaun Watson didn't deserve the Deshaun Watson money either. It wouldn't give him the whole dollar number like a Patrick Mahomes. But we understand that when you look at Patrick Mahomes' contract, his contract is certainly undervalued. And so, he'll reset that market. And I think the Baltimore Ravens should get this deal done certainly before Joe Burrow or Justin Herbert get a deal done, because I've seen some contract projections that Joe Burrow could come in at 5 years, 265, 5 years, 280, somewhere in there. And so I think this deal right here gets Lamar Jackson, it keeps Lamar Jackson in-house for at least the next 4 years, man. So listen, that's what I have for you guys right now. Let me know what you want me to know, man. Let me know what you think about the contracts. Matter of fact, if you want to, man, share it with a friend, hit the like button, subscribe. But I want you to share it with somebody and get their take on what the Lamar Jackson contract should be. You can pick one of the ones I offered, or you can create your own. Put it in the comment section, man. I appreciate you guys. I'm Boulanger. This is the GM, and I'm out.